Are you a fan of the Turkish Hereke rugs and you want to have some added information? Well, in this video, I'm going to introduce you to one of the most famous old Turkish Hereke workshops known as the Hereke Association. Give you little insights about them. So if you are a fan of the Turkish Hereke rugs, this is a video you don't want to miss. Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of mprugs.com. Hope you and your family are doing well. In today's episode, it's all going to be about the Turkish pure silk Hereke rugs, particularly the two most popular designs of the Association of Weavers known as the Ozipek. This is an old group of weavers. Unfortunately, they don't exist anymore, like most of the old workshops in Hereke in Turkey. They're basically a thing of the past. But what I wanted to do was showcase a couple of designs and give you some added insights. There are many of you that are passionate about the handmade carpets, especially the older Turkish Hereke rugs. These are extremely collectible pieces. Worldwide, I mean, we got clients who are absolutely passionate about them, and I'm blessed to consider myself to be one of them. But at the same token, there's also not only a lot of misinformation, but also there are features that most even dealers are not aware of. And, I'm very flattered when I have so many carpet dealers from around the world contacting me and thanking me and also asking me for information, that I wanted to share these with you because this is something that you rarely ever find. For example, we have two Hereke pieces right here. These are both from the Ozipek workshop. These are same design, made about the same time. These are dating back to the 1960s or so. But what is unique about them, what is rare about them, and what you will virtually never find is the fact that you have two identical designs in different sizes, in different qualities. And when you look closely, you will notice there are subtle differences. And this is something that you are typically going to find in older Hereke rugs. One of the most common questions that I often get is that I recently had, for example, one of our viewers emailed me pictures of a Hereke rug that he purchased, and he said, Mike, after I purchased the rug, it was a variation of the most popular Ozipek design, the Sat Autumn. This is a classic design. What he had was a slight variation of that. And here he said, Mike, after I bought it, I found a slightly larger piece with the same design. Is that normal? Or does that mean that they're forgeries? Also, the signatures are slightly different. And so what I thought I'm going to do is show you guys real quick this video right here and demonstrate to you guys how it was done in the old days. The Ozipek weavers, unlike most of the weavers that were making the high-end Hereke rugs, the Ozipeks were a group of weavers, almost kind of like a franchise. They were not employees of a workshop, and they were not individuals who made rugs in their own home. What the Ozipek basically, and to me, it's the best way for me to describe them, it's almost like a Subway franchise. The Ozipeks came about where you had a family that was heavily they were basically the suppliers of the silk and the dyes, the wool and the silk. And so they contracted with weavers. And this is why, for example, Ozipeks were not made in one location. They were made basically in the homes of the weavers, but the weavers all got the silk and everything from the same place. This is why you can have all the different Ozipeks, but you will notice that when you see them up close, they have aged very similarly. The colors are very similar. The silk, the quality, and just the feel, they're all basically the same. And so you have individual weavers that were getting all of the supplies from the same source. They were all using the same techniques, but they were given basically a little bit of leeway. And you will see that in a little bit here when we talk about the variances in the designs, and especially like, for example, in the signatures. It's a beautiful pieces. But just to give you a quick overview, here we have the light colored piece. This is a 10-10 quality. So you have 10 knots per centimeter. That's 100 knots. And you're looking at, I'm sorry, not 100, 1,000 times 1,000. That's 1,000,000 knots per square inch. Just to give you an example, this light piece right here, which is roughly 4 feet by 3.5 feet, 123 by 106 centimeters. This carpet right here features about 1.3 million knots. Then behind it here, behind me is a 14-14 quality. I'm getting my numbers a little bit mixed up because we have actually 3 different pieces. The 14-14 quality, 14 centimeter, double knots per centimeter. That's 1,400 knots per meter. Square that number, you have 1.96 square million knots per square meter. But what you have is a rug that is roughly half the size. This is 92 by 71 centimeters. When you look at the total area, just to give you an idea, this light piece is 1.3 square meters. This darker piece that is a lot finer is 0.65 square meters. So this dark piece right here covers half the area as here, but it has the same number of knots. And this is very, very important. It's like they took the design. This is a classic. The blossoming spring is the opposite of the sad autumn. This basically reflects, it's like a tree of life design where you can see the trees blossoming in the spring, where basically it's the beginning of the chapter, whereas the classic sad autumn design by the Ozipeks represents the end of the chapter. And so, but you have a piece right here that, as you can see here, has the same number of knots. They have taken the design, and remember, this is almost like in the old days. You had a checkered piece of paper where every square millimeter, they had drawn it out. Then they took that piece of paper and they basically shrunk it, or they could expand it. By shrinking it, you have made the knots tighter. By expanding it, you made the knots bigger. This is how you have a single design being featured in many different types of rugs. But you also had, what was unique about the Ozipeks is being that they were made up of individual weavers. They were given, it's like I said, the best way for me to describe it, it's almost like a little franchise. They had to follow the same rules. They had to weave them in the same rugs, use the same dyes and all that stuff. But they were given slight independence from each other. One of the ways that you can tell is the signatures. If you notice, and I'm just going to use the three pieces, the two that are hanging behind me, and the third one. If you notice on the three of them, you have slight variations of this Ozipek signature. Sometimes you have the classic Arabic one. This is the old Arabic. Then you have the formal Arabic. And then you have what is known as the Roman script. So you have three different workshops, three different types. Well, I guess workshops really wouldn't be a good name. You have three different groups of Ozipek weavers. And they were basically allowed to add their unique signatures. You will also notice every one of these pieces, even though it features the same design, they have slight variations. If you look next to the signatures, if you look at the border design, you will notice in almost every Ozipek, even the ones that have the same design, they have slight different design, changes in the borders. You will notice also in the design itself, the tree. If you look at the pictures, you can see between the dark piece and the light piece, how the trees, the blossoms, how they are different. The leaves are slightly different. Same design, same everything, but the foliage, the shrubs, they have slight variations. This is classic with the Ozipeks. Also, you will notice, and this is something that most of you will not catch on to, and that has to do with the light side and the dark side. These two pieces right here, one of the reasons why the signatures are upside down in the light piece is because the light piece is actually woven the wrong way. This is the way it is, so that when you look at it, knowing that the rug was going to be hung on a wall, there is the light side and the dark side. Well, you want to have light colored pieces. You want the dark side to be the focal area, because otherwise from the light side, it would be so shiny that the design would fall away. It would fall into the background. In the dark pieces, it's the opposite. So when I run my hand over the rug, this is total contradiction. They're opposite to each other. But this is also why you have the signature in the light piece upside down to the design. This is also very common in the Persian and the Gom rugs. Whereas in this piece right here, in the light piece and the dark piece, it's perfect. So you have these differences in individual workshops, the weavers and everything. And this is something that oftentimes people have asked me about. They said, Mike, we have found these pieces. They want to have my opinion on them. This is something that is very, very thought after by so many of my clients worldwide. These are the types of rugs that, fortunately, most of you that own them, you end up hanging them on walls, displaying them almost like pieces of art. And these are things that most people then pass down to the next generations. As I always tell my clients, I will never tell you to buy something, to buy a rug as an investment piece. But what I am saying is that these kinds of carpets, nowadays people buy them as collectibles. They enjoy them as a piece of art. As you can see here, we have many who had gone out and they had them framed and everything. They are great decor items. And it's beautiful examples of the old home, this is what people did decades ago. These are all handmade. These are double knotted Turkish knot. So you are talking about something of the highest quality, and these are just beautiful pieces. But because of the number of questions that I've been getting from you, I wanted to do this video, showcase some of the differences. Hope this video is of interest to you and of help to you. Due to the amount of questions that I'm getting, I am featuring a lot of these videos about the Turkish Hereke rugs. And again, if this is something that you're interested in, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be coming out with, I'm going to continue to come out with the videos about various types of handmade carpets. Also, if you have questions about a rug that you have, feel free. There is to watch the video, the link below in the description, in which I show you what type of pictures I need, what basic information I need, and be able to give you some basic feedback if you have questions about a rug or something. So I'm going to be coming back to you with many more videos to come. In the meantime, wishing you and your family the very best until we see each other again. Take care. Bye-bye.